Mixed emotions, mixed feelings, mixed relations, and mixed races? Stay tuned to find out. Season 6 remix after the jump. Let's go!
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, we got a little Drake in the building.
What? Little roll, little wine, a little what? A little wine. Wine only. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chaos Jones. Dynamic duo is back in effect. Season 6 remix Catfish. Let them know who you are.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. I'm Olivia Gabaree. You can hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, @thereal_O_G.
And they missed you. I missed you.
I bet you did.
I'm glad you're back. Chaos J on Twitter, by the way. Chaos_Oceans31. We got Colleen and Tony tonight. This episode,
Colleen and Tony.
This episode had a few nice little dramatic twists in it. It wasn't like crazy, but it still had some nice twist in it. And it even ended up having a somewhat happy ending. So
right, which is very rare in the catfish world.
A lot of what happened in this episode is rare. But we've talked about it.
Yeah, Max said this is the second time in all 95 episodes that they've had a pleasant ending. So, not to spoil
of this
it,
caliber. Of this caliber.
Yes.
So, let's talk about it. You have Colleen, who's 20. She's in Spokane, Washington. And you've got Tony, who, I don't remember. How old is Tony?
I think he's around 27, 28.
Something like that. And when we first see that, when we first talk to Colleen, she says, or we first hear, we get to see her letter that she sends to Max and Eve. You know how that goes. She said, they met online on Plenty of Fish, which Plenty of Fish low-key seems to be popping this season.
My roommate actually tried Plenty of Fish one time, and she said it's just like, it really is Plenty of Fish. There are thousands and thousands of people on that thing that you just got to swim through.
I bet that's
Find that
overwhelming.
one goldfish. You know what I'm saying?
Easy. Find your Nemo on Plenty of Fish and just hope that you don't get catfished. Okay, so back to it. Supposedly they meet, or they don't meet, but they meet on Plenty of Fish. They start talking. Instant chemistry, they hit it off, and they're talking for 3 years. And the culmination of that is when he proposes to her, to which she accepts, and they're engaged now.
Right, but so 3 years so far, as we know of.
As we know.
But here's the thing. We got the checklist going on, but I think this exceeds the checklist because this dude doesn't even have social media.
Right.
And that is very bizarre.
So there's a few things that as we go down our checklist, which I actually made one and I forgot to send it to you. I made it last week and forgot to send it, and we'll have it next week for sure. So there's still a few things that he can check off on this checklist, but yeah, no social media.
Yeah, I think that's a large red flag right there.
It is.
Because
huge red flag.
I think if you're willing to put yourself out there on a dating website, why wouldn't you
have
be
supporting
willing?
social media?
Yes. So
especially when you're already putting yourself out there and for all intent and purpose, you're catfishing.
Yeah.
So what's one more account?
Maybe he just didn't want to put in all the energy of maintaining a fake identity on another account.
I don't know. So 3 years, there was like a break in between because she had gotten frustrated because...
Right. But, I mean, do we want to keep on calling it 3 years or should we call it what it is?
Why don't we just check that clip?
Yeah. Can you play us clip number 1, please?
To tell you guys something. I haven't been completely honest.
What?
We've only been seeing each other for like 3 months.
Wait, so the 3 years thing isn't true?
Yes, that part is not true.
Why would you lie? Did you feel embarrassed?
I just got out of a relationship, hopped back into another one. I guess I just wanted it like I didn't want you guys to think, oh, she's rushing in.
Okay, yeah, and that is accurate. I am surprised.
Okay, now.
It's gonna pick up again. I
Oh,
believe.
okay.
Yes, we are.
How long after you guys started talking did he propose to you?
About a month after. Call me crazy, but that's why I contacted you guys. Because I was like, you know, this guy seems to be everything I look for in a guy. I just feel like he's hiding something.
Okay, so first things first. And when I watched this morning, I'm sure as you saw my tweets, I was watching this morning, I was getting ready for work. All I kept thinking was, stop lying to Max and Neve.
They're here to help you.
That's it.
I don't, it's like, you know, when people lie to a doctor
Or lie to your lawyer.
Yeah, and it's like they're here to help you. How they can't help you if they don't have accurate information.
Exactly, they are in your corner.
Yes.
If Neve and Max and Neve, I know I always switch it around, but if they are if they're in your living room, they're in your kitchen, they're in your backyard, they are there to help you. Nothing else. Stop lying to them. Granted, they always just let it roll off their shoulders and they keep moving along, but I'm just like, stop lying.
I would be frustrated.
Oh, I would be so frustrated. And you know, we already know Max low key gets frustrated. Speaking of Max, and I talked about this too, Max is kind of low key woke. Have you noticed? And if you go back and look at, if we were to go back and look at the different episodes, Max low-key stays rocking some Black Lives Matter shirts.
He does. I noticed that in this episode.
And I want to say there's a few other socially conscious shirts that I've seen him wear. Like, Max is woke. And he doesn't say anything.
Right.
He just wears the shirts.
And good for him, though, because he knows that he has such a large platform. He has so many eyes on him. And
people see that.
Yeah, the fact that he's using that for good. I mean, he's not saying anything, but I recognized it right away. You recognized it right away. I'm sure everybody in the audience had. So good for Max.
Shout
Thank
out
you
to Max.
For that.
We appreciate you standing up for what's right. So back to the subject at hand. I was literally about to start that Dr. Dre verse. I'm sorry. Perfection is perfected. I won't do it. Okay. So anyways, stop lying for one. I kind of liked the idea that they were talking for 3 years as opposed to 3 months. I mean, it is what it is. And granted, and she says it herself, like, I didn't want you guys to think I was rushing in, but that's exactly what you're doing.
Right.
3 months, and granted, we've heard stories where there's people that they meet and they know, and 3 months and they're married and they stay together. And by all means, I really hope that happens with these two as we get into it. But that's 3 months. I can't think of any one person right now that I can say that I met and within 3 months I'm like, girl.
No, I know. I mean, and it just changes the whole dynamic of the story, which is why I could see why she used 3 years to leverage her Nev and Max time, because if you know, when you hear 3 months, you don't take it as seriously, of course.
And they might not have come out.
Especially, so they're together 3 months and they haven't physically met each other and they're engaged. All those three things are just the ingredients for trouble.
Those are the ingredients for Catfish after show with the dynamic duo where we're like, ooh, this is a good one. Let's watch.
And another reason is she said that she's fresh out of a relationship. So, of course, it would be very hard to take someone like that seriously because you are thinking, this is just a rebound relationship. This chick's just jumping from one to the next. And granted, no, I don't know how she feels. I don't know her story. I just know from our perspective, that's what it looks like.
She took an L last night and then she bounced
back.
Pretty much. I'm sorry. I had to do it. So we get to find out about Tony, who at one point lived in Washington, and then he mysteriously moved and didn't tell her, and then he eventually comes clean and says, yeah, okay, I lied. I'm actually in New Orleans right now. So that's the first thing we find out that he lied about. And then we find out that they've never video chatted, which It's obvious.
course.
That's the first. That's one of the first things on the checklist. They never video chatted. And then even he had 2 numbers, and at one point he was calling her from one number, and then just one day just suddenly just switched over.
I got 2
Phones,
We
one
should
for the
use
plug,
that
one for the
song.
load. We should have. Next
Damn.
time. So, I mean, you have the ingredients. You have the deceptiveness with the phone numbers, with actually not being truthful where he was, and then not wanting the video chat. And that takes us into, you know, her wanting to find out who he is. And then obviously we want to find out who he is because she feels like he's so perfect. There's got to be something missing.
Exactly.
Like there's something off.
And, you know, the whole entire time as an audience, we're only hearing from her perspective. So we already knew that she lied one time, which was a red flag for us, you know, to trust her.
Just out the gate. You just come out the gate line.
Right. But then, of course, we finally get in touch with him. Nev and Max get in touch with him, and we hear his side of things. So can we play clip 2?
Is there a good reason why you haven't gone to see your fiance in person?
I love her, but I have reservations about whether or not she moved forward. She may be not the person that I thought she was.
Oh, what do you mean?
She lied about her age.
Really? What? In what way?
She told me initially that she was 25, and I found out she was 20.
So yeah, I can understand that came as quite a shock.
When did she tell you that, finally?
After we got engaged.
Whoa. Was there anything else that she lied about?
And she's kind of irresponsible with her money. She put me under the impression that she was about to receive a promotion at work, and after we got engaged, she lost her job. So I've been supporting her.
So have you been sending her money?
Yeah,
How much have you sent her?
a little over 300, 400 bucks.
Okay. Who's been not wanting to video chat, you or her?
More me, because I'm kind of insecure.
Are the pictures that she's seen of you really you?
Yes, sir.
They are. Okay.
I just have some reservations. I'm sorry, my boss is coming. I have to go.
Okay.
So after I hear this, I'm thinking, well, she already lied to us once.
So then what, you know, what else, what, you know, was she lying about everything he said?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was in. I was just like, okay, cool. Clearly, Colleen is cutting up she's cutting up some lies. Like, I'm just going to call her the Lion Queen. But then, I hate to say this. I try my best not to feed into stereotypes, preconceived notions, and myths of people. But, okay. We saw the pictures of Tony.
Yeah.
When I heard his voice, I'm like, not only is the person that's on the other end of that not Tony, because Tony don't sound like that. He got just a little extra bass in his voice. The octaves was off. I'm like, no, that's a brother right there. I hate to say that.
So you knew it.
But I knew. And there's sometimes you can't really determine someone's race and ethnicity based off of how they sound over the phone, because I can deceive them with the best of them. But I knew.
You did.
I knew. I was like, okay. And then that got my wheels turning.
Yeah, well, I was thinking Colleen could possibly be lying, but I knew obviously he was lying as well because there's a reason why he won't show his face.
Exactly.
It's not just because he's insecure and doesn't feel like it. If he was insecure, he wouldn't have put photos up on a dating website to begin with. But he sounded pretty confident there when he was telling them that his photos were legit.
Not only did he sound confident then, but like his story and his explanation and what he was explaining to them about how she had deceived him was so fluid and just it flowed. There was no pauses. There was nothing that led me to believe like, oh, this dude is cutting up some lies right now.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, oh, okay, Colleen is just lying her ass off.
Right, because it sounded like his lines were almost written out and rehearsed. And that is what concerns me the most. I say this time and time again, but I think the people who are able to make up shit out of thin air are the people that are threatening you the most, because they're low-key the scariest.
Yeah, because at any given time, you don't know if they're telling you the truth. And at the flip of a switch, they can just, bam, flip something out. And then you're just like, oh, okay. And then you find out later, and it's like, oh, wow. Like, I can't believe you lied about X, Y, and Z. I mean, even... And we've seen this time and time again when they cut away to get off the phone. And we've heard a few different variations of that, excuses of why they have to get off the phone. And obviously it's like, okay, you guys are asking too many questions. I got to break.
Yeah.
But even with my bosses coming, I have to go. I was kind of like, yeah, that's a good excuse. But there was still a part of me that was like, oh, no, he called him while he was at work. Yeah. And his boss really was coming, and he really has to go.
Oh,
like,
my God.
Tony had me hook, line, and sinker on this one.
Colleen, you better watch out, girlfriend.
I was rolling.
Dude's
I'm like,
a good
damn,
liar.
this dude is sending her money. But when they were doing their research, I have to admit, I was worried at first because they had found where the number traced back to like an old dude, like a 60-year-old dude.
Oh, I know.
And then we just had the one with the 43-year-old dude. And I'm like, oh, God, no. Because she'd already established and made it clear that, she was in love with a person for their personality.
Right.
And that she was willing to forego them not looking like what she thought they did, which was big. What did you think about when she said that?
But... I'm sure at least I hope she would have communicated that with him, the fact that looks don't matter to her, and maybe he would have felt comfortable enough to tell her the truth. But I'm just thinking, if I was in her shoes and I'm sitting there knowing that this guy is lying to me and I'm still willing to be engaged to him, I think that's a larger problem. He's lying to you, your fiance. Like, that's not a white lie. That's a very big lie.
Huge lie.
And that's why I don't understand how relationships could ever develop out of catfish, because they're based on a lie.
Of a lie. Like the whole origin of your relationship is based off of a lie.
Exactly. And that is disturbing to me.
In and of itself. Okay, so obviously, we're going to find out he's not a 60-something-year-old dude.
Thank God.
But for me, like I said, I already knew he was a black guy. I knew he was not a Caucasian man, with the all-American Tony look.
Yeah.
that he conveyed.
That frat boy.
I knew,
style.
I knew that wasn't cracking. So you have Nev and him discuss. They talk again. They have another conversation where Nev is trying to coordinate them meeting him, and we get that same excuse. I'm gonna need you catfishers stop with the. I just got a lot on my plate right now.
Well, I mean, he does have a lot on a plate.
He does.
He's living a whole other lifestyle.
He does. But that's everyone's excuse. I have a lot on my plate. It's just not a good time right now. I'm really busy. And Nev called him out. He said, but this is someone that you have proposed to. Like, you're engaged to be married to this person, which, again, let's just let that breathe for a minute. They are engaged. Granted, I didn't see a rock or a ring.
Well, that's because was he going to mail it to her?
I mean, yeah, like, hey, check the mail, girl, overnight. I got you.
I got you.
DHL, I got you, girl, overnight. It's in there. Put that on. I already got your size. But, like, they're engaged, so to speak. Yeah, it's just, and you're hesitant to meet her?
I know. Well, it's like, yeah, I have a lot on my plate now, but when you make that type of commitment to someone, they become part of your life. And if you have a lot on your plate, then all of a sudden so do they, That's just not a valid excuse when it gets to that extreme.
My baggage is your baggage.
That's right. But we finally, we traveled to go meet Tony, and we finally meet him, and he walks out the door. And automatically I'm thinking, well, why does this guy have to lie? He's not even that bad looking.
Yeah, he wasn't that bad looking. I wasn't necessarily on board with the glasses, but that's something that can be changed.
Personal preference.
But yeah, that's personal preference. And I mean, yeah, he wasn't that bad looking of a guy. Again, no shade. I don't need nobody blowing up the mentions. But a lot of times you can co-sign the person behind the catfish is overweight.
For 9 out of 10 times.
Which contributes to a large portion of their insecurity.
Yes.
Which is understandable. You're not comfortable in your current physical shape. I got it. This dude wasn't even an issue.
No.
So I was just like, well, why? And, clearly she rolled with the punches like, okay. And then even Max and Neve said like,
what's this guy have to lie
like
for?
He's not even really that bad looking of a guy. Like, he's all right. Like, this is gonna be one of the first time, girl, you might low key be winning.
Yeah,
once you go black, you. So, I mean, it just, again, we're gonna ask this a few more times. Like, why'd you lie? Mm-hmm. Yesterday, just quick brief plug if you haven't checked it out, DMC 8:00 Wednesdays. There was this author that we had on there, Crystalline, shout out. She has a book called Swirling, and it's talking about interracial relationships and the fact that it is okay to engage in an interracial relationship to ultimately seek the person that's going to be the best fit for you. And so, he goes into this whole diatribe about how black women aren't really that into him because he has different interests and things like that. And it's like, okay, cool, I get it, but again, why the secrecy? Mm-hmm. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I just feel like, and I know that there are still some pockets in the country where interracial dating isn't necessarily smiled at. It's still frowned upon to a certain extent, but you online dating, bro.
Right. And here's the thing. I think that obviously everyone's experiences contribute to who they are. So maybe in the past he has had some negative experiences in the dating world because of that, possibly. Or even just in his social life that he never really felt like he fit in, whatever it may be. However, if you are trying to create a relationship with this person and you're in fear that they won't accept who you are because of what color you are, you have no business being with that person anyway.
Exactly. Like if out the gate, they're like, oh, I don't date black guys, and you've already sent them a picture of a white dude, like, yeah, that's me, and you're a black dude, okay, well, cool, well, then it's a wrap. It's not gonna work.
I don't see that. I don't think I would want to be with somebody that feels that way toward me, my family, people like me, No,
not at all.
I mean, unfortunately, it's very clear that still does exist in this world, but I don't know. I feel badly for him that he felt like he had to hide something like that.
And again, I have to understand that, again, things are different in different places, and we are in LA, which is a huge melting pot, because he was talking about the way he dressed. Mm-hmm. And that's the first thing I looked at, and I'm like, okay, cool, I see it. The dude's got on a polo, khakis, he's got on some boat shoes and a cardigan. But I have a coworker, shout out to Tavell, and he dresses just like that. And it's not a problem. And, he's an equal opportunity dater.
Yeah.
So I don't even, and in certain areas, in some circles, that's low key the look. Is like the prep look.
Right.
Like, it's still okay.
I think the way you dress says more about your personality.
Exactly.
But again, we had to be careful with that because we live in LA, that's what we're used to. But of course, other places in the country aren't as fortunate as us. However, I think that his relationship with his family and what he thought his family's outlook was probably affected the way that he carried himself.
And for him to feel like that, granted, we did not get to see that. We're going to show a clip in a minute of him, talking to his sister and his cousin. However, I didn't get that impression that they were like that based on what we see in the clip that we're going to show. However, at some point, something had to have been said that made him feel like that. And I remember me personally coming up, I heard the expression quite a few times, don't bring her home if she can't use your comb. So that kind of meant like, oh, so even though I like Susie, I gotta bring Tanisha home. But
Oh, God.
I mean, ultimately, you like what you like,
Yeah.
you know, and it is what it is. But let's show this clip and show the reaction of his sister and his cousin once he confronts them and says, okay, hey, this is a girl that I've been in an online relationship with, and you know, and this is how we came to be.
We too ignorant because we black, we don't understand him. I don't even know what to say. I feel like you should have been able to just come say, look, I need to talk to you. Why are we here?
I admit I should have been more forthcoming, but I was under the impression that you'd be more accepting if I was married to someone of the same race.
Where'd you pick that up from? I'm not prejudiced. It really felt like you took something and stabbed me or something when you said that. And then how you feel about that? You done came all the way wherever and he black.
I don't care. I don't care at all.
You told him, yeah, you would marry him. You said, yeah. Why would you say yes?
Because I really feelings for him. I love his personality. He's a great guy.
How you know y'all ready for to get married?
I mean, initially it was an impulse decision, but I mean, time has passed since then too.
Time has passed and y'all ain't been together.
First off, I loved his sister's accent, or her dialect rather. I loved it. And she was just so angry. But she had every right to be, because, you know, he painted this picture like his sister was going to be so unaccepting and so unable to, you know, grasp the concept of him dating someone that wasn't black. And he just painted her with a broad stroke that really wasn't her. Well, I don't know, what'd you think?
I see where you're coming from, but also when people are in front of the camera, they tend to act differently. I'm not sure if she was ready to let the rest of the country know that
she felt a certain kind of way.
Yes, but I mean, then again, he could have just assumed, or maybe he felt insecure in himself and he projected those insecurities onto his family. I really don't know, but
she was mad though.
She was funny. She kept it real, because
she did.
That's what I would. If this was my brother,
he asked you to marry him, and you just said yes.
Yeah, I would have been like,
y'all gonna
girl,
get married?
What the hell is the matter with you? Like, you seriously said yes, and you didn't even know what he looked like.
She was like, yeah. She was like, so what happened when you seen him and he was black?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Just telling it like it is.
But
that's
true.
how it has to be.
But shout out to Colleen, because she legit was a writer.
Yeah,
she
good
was.
For her.
She stuck to her gun. She's like, I really care about him. He's a great guy. He's in a different package than what I expected, but I'll take it.
Still a liar though.
Yeah, low
but
key.
I guess she is
but
too.
I'm
so.
also gonna give Tony some points, because she said she woke up from having had a nightmare at like 3 a.m. and she hit him up and he called her and he stayed up with her because she couldn't go back to sleep. Okay. That was kind of like,
I guess
there
that's
were
true.
moments where I was like, oh, like it kind of softened me up a little bit, because I'm like, okay, because
you don't know if you'd be down for that.
Kelli right now, 2017, Kelli version 3.0, cannot say that I'm necessarily you gonna hit me up at 2, 3 in the morning, and I'm like, yeah, girl, and then I'm gonna stay up with you because you can't go to sleep. Like, I'm gonna just be hey, what was it about? Okay, well, it's all right. That person's not dead. This monster's not gonna eat your face off. But baby, I'm gonna need you to go back to sleep because it's 3 in the morning. I got to get up in a couple hours. Like, I'm not finna stay on the phone with you.
I feel like 2017 Olivia would, 1, not call a man if I had a nightmare, and 2, not pick up the phone if a man was calling me at 3 in the morning.
Because he had a nightmare.
No, sorry. Maybe it'll wake me up, but I would put that shit on silent and keep it moving. You wouldn't
even text and be like, hey, everything okay?
No, we'll worry about it in the morning.
So you just if he in the middle of getting beat up,
maybe
if he in the back alley getting beat up and he's trying to call
what
you,
am I gonna do for him if he's
true.
getting
Like,
beat up in an alley at 3 in the morning?
You're
You're calling the wrong person. No phone calls are good after 10 p.m., I'm telling you.
But see, and that's smart. And I talk about this on the DMC, and I'm going to say something about it here. At no point is there anything that's going to come across your phone screen after 10 that is that important that you should not have your phone on Do Not Disturb to where you allow it to disrupt your sleep. Because knowing somebody's status update, post, snap, tweet, story is not that important.
Come through? No,
not at
past
all.
10.
Yeah, no. Respect.
That's right. But I mean, if you have a girlfriend and you think and she has nightmares from time to time, then maybe keep it on, because
more power
Tony got a wife out of it. So
low key,
you go, Tony.
You low key. So they continue to have this, this conversation. She, she explains that even though I've never, physically met him until now, like this is a person that I want to be with, based off of his personality. And we always say this, and it's so cliche, but it's not what matters on the outside; it's about what matters on the inside. But it really is true. Mm-hmm. Although most of us do not go by that. I've never seen the sea donkey and be like, I bet she's nice. I'm just going to be honest. I mean, the first thing
sea donkey.
We're visual people. So the first thing you're going to see now there may be a situation where you're working alongside that sea donkey and then you get to know her and you're like, actually, she's not that bad. She's more like a sea cub. And I think I might be able to make this work. And then, and then it may blossom into a, loving relationship. But if you're just going off of first looks, it's not going down like that. However, they did not have that. She was not afforded that, that option because he lied to her, mm-hmm. which she forgave, and they were able to keep it pushing. I like the fact that, she said, I'm looking forward to really getting to know you guys. And, and they were upset at the idea of him leaving. However, the boy's in love.
And when you get to that age, you just got to start to make your own decisions.
You just got to go for it. And I mean, granted, again, she did kind of just go from one relationship to the next. Mm-mm. But they seemed so sure about the connection they had, regardless of the fact that she had never seen him. Like I'm just saying, like
how awkward do you think that was,
like the ice box thawed out a little bit.
Did you see them like?
I started doing the Marion dance moves in the living room, like I'm so cold.
Did you see them when after the conversation with the family, how they were like leaning against the house and he was like touching her, and I don't know, it just made me feel so awkward to watch. I was like, this is the first time they've been touching throughout their entire relationship.
Right. Oh. Yeah, it was a little awkward. I don't know. I mean,
but maybe that's just us, everybody's different, and that's
they
okay.
Probably, and they were, I'm sure he was a little bit nervous. I thought that was a nice little gesture. He got on his knees, I will never lie to you again. And I was just like, oh,
yeah. Like, I guess it was cute. I'm just a hater,
right? Just a little bit. It's okay though. I'm gonna need you to stop being petty today. So I mean, it was kind of sweet. And this was definitely a different type of episode for us. I've always said that, and I even said it last season where I said, I just wonder if there's ever going to be a situation where even though the person didn't look like what they thought they were, because of the connection and the bond they had, will they pursue a relationship? Mm-hmm. I got my wish.
Ask and you shall receive.
Hey, man, I got it. The catfish gods delivered today. And therefore, I am thankful.
I wonder if they're still together today.
Right. I would love a follow-up.
Yeah, we should research that.
We're going to look into that. But Colleen and Tony, if you get wind of this show, which is the best after show there is for Catfish with a dynamic duo, I'm going to need y'all to hit us up, slide up in our DMs, and let us know if you guys are still together.
Yeah,
fans,
we should have someone on our show.
If you guys know or you can find out, hit us up, leave it in the comments, let us know. Because I would like to know.
We could hold a follow-up.
We could do a whole follow-up episode. just for you, just to talk about it. Okay, so we get to the follow-up. I didn't see, did they even show how much time had passed?
I didn't see how much time had passed, but it's obvious that what's his real name?
It was Jeremy. Jeremy Antonio something or another.
So Jeremy,
but he goes by Tony.
Oh, okay, whatever.
But
Jeremy,
she
Tony,
did say
Tony,
Jeremy at the end.
He moved to Washington.
Be with his boo thing.
Yep, he's trying to get a job at a local pizza place. And
Making the pizza. I'm sorry.
And he gave her a nice little smooch, so it looks like things are going well.
They look like they was happy. They
Your
had
face.
they had that, we live together and we're, doing grown up things alone in the dark glow. And hey man, more power to them. Again, like I said, I know that the majority of the time we tend to prefer the dramatic, drama filled, just chaotic mess that is Catfish. That is usually how it ends. But hey, the softy in me,
yeah,
I kind of like this episode. I like that it had a happy ending, and it wasn't the happy ending where it's like, oh, she's dating other men now, and she's got a guy that works at UPS, and and he's no longer catfishing, and he's met someone at the library. No, like they made it work.
It's a nice debrief from the 55-year-olds in his undies.
Right? Sitting around lonely and sad.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you
Clicking
for that.
on pictures. So we definitely appreciate this episode. Shout out to Colleen and Tony. Shout out to Colleen for being low-key or ride or die. So I'm going to need Tony to do right by her and never lie again. Like, not even like, if she's like, babe, did you eat that piece of cake? Yes, I ate that piece of cake. Like, just don't
Not
even
even
lie
white
about it.
lies.
Not even white lies. At this point, your lie bank is overdrawn. No lies. We got to see clips for the season finale. Mm-hmm. What did you think?
I didn't see the clips.
Okay, so Chaos saw the clips. Season finale is going to be next week. I don't know if this is going to be a mid-season finale break or if it's going to be just, this is a shorter season. Either way, your girl's doing red carpets. She's doing big things right now. And she's really, really busy. So you get a nice little break.
Yeah.
I'm trying to ramp up some new things, so I get a nice little break. We will miss you guys, however. The previews, they said they're going far out, so I'm thinking maybe they're going to Alaska. I'm not quite sure.
Or we're taking it international.
Or we're taking it international again. I say again because they did last season. They went to the UK or somewhere. But they said this one is going to be one of the most something or another. Like, it's like a big deal. Like, they've never had one like this before. Well, and the way they built it up and the way it was put together, it looks like it's gonna be a big deal.
Ooh, I'm excited.
So we're gonna need some dramatic music. I might wear some goth clothing for the dark theme. Like, I got some platforms.
We're gonna kill it.
We're just gonna go all out.
I'm glad platforms scream Catfish to you.
Hey man. Platforms, glow sticks, dark makeup, Future, mask off. Have you seen that clip? It's hilarious.
No.
I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah, you gotta show it to me.
It's like a bunch of goth people dancing to Future mask off.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. They're not really dancing, but someone just dubbed it over. Anyways, about that whole dark theme, next week is going to be crazy, but you can catch us here a different time, Wednesday, 9 o'clock next week. So we're actually going to have an after show right after it airs. So make sure you tune in. As you already know, it's your boy Chaos Jones, Chaos J on Twitter, Chaos_Oceans31, because I'm giving you 31 flavors of waviness all day. Dynamic duo in the building, season 6 remix. Where can they find you?
And you guys can hit me up all across social media, The Real OG.
There's only one.
That's right.
Just one. All right. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. Next week, it's going to be crazy. You do not want to miss it. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell everybody they need to be locked in AfterBuzz TV. Make sure you hit us up in the comments. And if you're feeling froggy, 5 stars iTunes review. 5 or 4, the rest don't count. Hit us up. Let's talk about it.
See you
And
next
that's it.
week.
I'm done. Officially. No more shout outs.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.